back to my channel, All Things Witchy. I am Tabby the Herbal Witch, and today I will discuss Gullah-Geechee traditions that I grew up with throughout my life and things that I still practice as a witch. So if you do not know who the Gullah-Geechee people are, we are people from the coasts of Georgia, South Carolina, and some of Florida. We have African descent. We can trace our ancestors back to West Africa. And Gullah-Geechee peoples sort of maintained those same traditions and way of life that the Africans had when they were brought over during slavery. So we are a very proud people. We are very proud of our culture, and I am so glad that a lot of us are going back to those traditions, but a lot of us never left those traditions. So some of these things you might recognize if you know someone who is Gullah-Geechee, or if you are in fact of the Gullah-Geechee culture. All right, so the first thing I would like to say is that a lot of us from the Gullah-Geechee culture, we were raised in the Christian church. We were raised either Baptist or Pentecostal. Some of us were raised AME or African Methodist Episcopal. And so we definitely had that Christian background, but then a lot of the African traditions were mixed in with the Christian religion. One thing for certain that we all did was we believed in the power of holy oil or anointing oil. This would be olive oil that we would buy from the grocery store. We would have a pastor or a preacher or a priest pray over this oil, and then we would use this oil to anoint our homes, our bodies, objects that we felt needed to be blessed or anointed. For example, when my sister was ill years and years ago when she was much younger and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, my mom, she bought a bottle of olive oil, took it to our pastor, he prayed over it, and my mom would anoint my sister with this oil every night from head to toe while praying for her. When I broke my ankle, the same thing happened. We went to church. The pastor, he put the holy oil on his hands, said a prayer, and then, put his hands on my broken ankle to pray for my healing. This is something that's done for homes as well. You would usually do the sign of the cross. If you're blessing someone, you would do the sign of the cross on their head with the holy oil. People would anoint their walls, their doors, entry points to their homes, so that you could bless the home and deter evil from coming in. The other thing that we do as Gullah-Geechee people that I still see as kind of witchy is that we communicate with our ancestors on a regular basis. It's not something so much that is ritualistic. It's just something that's done in daily practice. We usually keep an area of our home that has pictures of those who have passed on, items that they like. It's an altar of sorts. But we don't say, oh, put it on the ancestor altar. We just know that this is an area that is designated for our ancestors. And we go to them for guidance, for wisdom. We talk to them on a normal basis. If some message came through that we felt needed to be shared, especially saying, well, I know that was Uncle so-and-so because he always had this thing and that's what I saw, or, it's something like that. You would also have people who dreamt, of ancestors, and they would relay whatever message that they learned from the ancestors. But there is one thing that we definitely believe, and that is that you do not take anything from your ancestors when you see them in a dream, and you definitely do not follow them. If they say follow me, or if they go walking somewhere and you follow them, you don't follow them. And that is because they are on the other side. They're in another realm. And unless you want to be where they are, you don't take anything from them and you do not follow them. So I would never take food or drink or an object from an ancestor in a dream. And I would never follow them to wherever they're going in a dream. That's just something that I've always been taught and I would never do. The next thing that is a part of our tradition, our culture, is the haint blue painting of of the porches and the shutters of houses. So if you've ever had a chance to visit the South, especially the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, and you see old communities of people who are of the Gullah-Geechee culture, you will notice that a lot of the homes are painted a haint blue. It's similar to this blue here that I have on. Some of it is much lighter, but they would have that haint blue painting either on the ceiling of the porch or the shutters of the doors. They would also have this this blue as the entire outer painting of the home. And this blue is said to represent water, and it is said to represent the sky. And these are two things that evil spirits are said to stay away from. So evil spirits are said to stay away from the ocean or water because it is difficult to cross for them. And they also stay away from the sky because that takes them further away from the person that they are then able to target. And so it's just another way of protecting the home, painting your shutters, or painting your porch in this haint blue color. Another thing that you might see if you visit the South with this Gullah-Geechee tradition is you would see the bottles on trees or on bushes, and they would usually be like an indigo blue or a lighter blue, navy blue, Carolina blue maybe. And it's for the same thing. It is to keep away the hag or the boo hag, whichever one you call it. It is to keep that evil spirit away. And usually the bottles are there to represent the same thing, the ocean, the sky, but it is also there to trap this evil spirit. And so usually they'll get distracted, they'll go into the bottle, and it is to keep them from entering the home. So you'll see these bottles on the outside of homes, on trees, on bushes, and that's the purpose, for protection from evil spirits. Okay. So I mentioned the boo hag or the hag, and we have a saying here that, you better say your prayers at night or the hag is going to ride you, or you don't want the hag to ride you all night. And it sounds a little, it sounds weird, but it's actually, scientists have described it as some sort of sleep paralysis where you're in between being awake and being asleep. And you can't move, you can't speak, you can't see. But for the Gullah-Geechee culture, we call it, we say that it's the hag. The hag has decided to ride. Someone has sent this evil spirit to come and bother us, to take over us. And so there are different things that you can do to keep the hag away. And so some people say, anointing yourself before you go to sleep. Some people say wearing a colander over your face while you're sleeping so that the hag is so distracted by counting the holes that they can't get to you. Just different things like that I've heard throughout the years growing up. I have had a hag experience a couple times when I was a kid. And of course, my mom would, say, hey, say your prayers, you'll be fine. So that is another thing that Gullah-Geechee culture believes in, is the hag. This next thing is something that my mom was really passionate about. I remember getting spanked on my hand for doing this. You hear kids say, see a penny, pick it up all day long, you have good luck. No. For us, if we saw a penny, especially around our house, around our cars, you do not pick them up. My mom always told me that people put things down for you to pick up. And whatever their intent was, mostly evil, you're going to then put that in your hand and it's going to come upon you. So we never picked up pennies. I was afraid to pick up pennies. When I would see pennies around my front door, the porch, around the car, because it's like someone put something down for me to then pick up. Another thing that we were taught was you do not leave your hair or your nails, clippings, or anything like that in strange area. You were to get rid of those things, you flush them or, burn them or whatever. You don't leave your hair, your nails, or anything like that for other people to pick up. It was even as serious as, you spend the night, you make sure that even your underwear were like packed down at the bottom of your bag, not so easy for people to get a hold to, because in Gullah-Geechee tradition, we believe that people will work root. There's a such thing as root doctors, root workers, and people will go to these root workers with those items that belong to you and have someone work root against you or work root on you. And so I learned that at an early age. And so that's something else that I feel is very witchy. Of course, that one being more obvious, where you're taking things that belong to other people that is of them and using it to do harm. Okay. If you know of any Gullah-Geechee traditions that I have left out, please feel free to comment and share them below. Let me know what you think of the boo hag. Let me know what you think of the whole thing about the hair and the nails. And if you have any other traditions, like I said, please share them below. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.